It's Monday morning, or getting close to 1 o'clock PM, and yesterday I was fairly busy and got some work done on the threading accessory. I found an old oh boy, my brain is just not working. A socket head, old socket head screw. It's a 3/8/16 a course, American course, and what I've done, it was just a short bolt socket head. So what I did was I machined down both ends, this end that goes in the collet longer, and I turned it down to 5/16, and I turned this side, the other end down, or I guess about 1/4 of an inch in, to 5/16 as well, and left a section of thread in the middle. And my idea is, I don't know if this is going to work, but I've got this transfer bar working, and I've got it bored out with a plate on the back to stop the to square everything up at the back end here, the nut. Now I'm making a nut, and I got a tap in the chuck, and I've started the thread in the aluminium rod, and I'm now running it, and the tap is running nice and true. So I figured that if I machine the diameter and the two faces of the nut down to 5/8 diameter and face off the at least one end, and I can then part it off. I'm going to part it off about 3/8 wide, so I'll have a round threaded piece of aluminium at 0.625 diameter at OD with a 3/8/16 thread in it, and that I will place in the recess here that lines up with the screw, the master screw. And my idea is that because I can adjust the saddle to where I want it, I figure that I'll now be able to run the lathe under power and hopefully do a single point thread in say a piece of 3/4 inch diameter. I'm going to use aluminium to start with, aluminium rod, and I figure that if I put the nut on here and start threading, the nut is going to travel along this thread until it no longer travels, because that is where it comes off of the screw. So then I can stop the machine and I can push this with the nut back and re-thread it onto that thread and come down this end to the bare section and just get the thread making contact with the nut and the screw, and then I can do another power pass, and it should stop at the same point when it runs off the screw. That's what I figure. So that's what I'm doing this morning. I'm going to machine this. I'm taking light cuts because I've got no support at this end, and although the tap is hardened and what have you, there's also a certain amount of spring, so if I take too big a cut I might have a nasty, so I'm just taking light cuts, we'll say 1/10 thou at a time. So I've got this disconnected at the moment so it doesn't affect the saddle in any way. Leak on the compressor on the line somewhere. Yeah, carry on. As Double Boost would say, busted. I'm getting to the interesting part now, which is doing a tryout, so it's quite exciting really to see if it's going to work out the way I think it will. I worked on for 18 years, worked on hard-inch HLVs in the tool room, and this, if it works, will more or less be the same as when you're threading on the hard inch. Such a beautiful lathe to thread on. It spoils you. These carbide inserts are inserts that I got from China, from Banggood, and I must say that I quite like the idea of the inserts in particular. You know, being able to take one out, put a fresh one in and carry on. I found that they last, for a hobbyist, I think they last quite a long time. I've done quite a bit of machining with this one, and I'm just on the second point now, because you can reverse it 180, and yeah, they're so damn cheap. You know, you buy a box of 10 for about, oh, I don't know, $6 or $7. How can you go wrong? I mean, just amazing. Okay, getting down to size now, so I'll take a measurement after this cut. Ah, dear. Okay, let's see what we got. $666. 0.666. So I've got another 40 odd, 35 thou to take off. Looks like it may need a new insert. It's almost polishing now. Okay, that's 20, that's 645. 45. I want 30, 30, 29, 30, 15 thou. I've made a couple of adapters for the lathe spindle nose, and what I did was I bought a nice tap, a 3/4 16 tap, and I put a piece of aluminium plate, I don't know, maybe in the 4-jaw, usually in the 4-jaw, and then I run the tap through, and then I place the part on the tap, and it's got centers at both ends, and then I put it back in the lathe with the plate on the thread, and sometimes I lock it. Most times I kind of lock it so it doesn't move on the thread as you're machining, and then I take a face across, and I can machine down the outside as well. And it's fairly square. It's pretty square if you do it like that. It's just another way of, if you don't have screw cutting on the TAG, that you can actually make a backing plate or whatever by doing it that way. So it's not impossible to make a backing plate on the TAG without having screw cutting facilities. Of course, the tap costs you money, and the shipping, I guess. But once you've got it, you can use it over and over again. So. So yeah, it's yeah, I've got I'll give it a thou clearance. So that's 4 thou. I'll give it 4. And it should go in nice bit in the 5/8. Actually, it's not 5/8. It's 6/30. So I overboard it by 5 thou. It doesn't matter. This stopper I had down here, it's really nice. You can actually you can actually feed the carriage by just turning the thimble. So instead of getting the tool bit surging into a face or a step, the face of a step down, you can actually just hold this and just turn the thimble, and it just takes a few thou off at a time. So it's kind of a nice feature, because without that, if you tried to take another 5 thou off the face, I don't know how you do it other than well, I don't know. You've got no index on the hand wheel here, and as soon as you grab it, it moves. So kind of dangerous in a way. So that's another feature of this micrometer stop that I have. I'm sure you've seen it. It works great. I can thoroughly recommend it as an addition to the lathe. I'll take a little bit more. I'll take another spring cut. I've got a runny nose. It's temperatures here have been around -22 Celsius over the last week, but since Saturday it's warmed up, and it's almost like we've had a chinook from the mountains. Every now and again during the winter months we might be lucky and get a what they call a chinook, and it's like a layer of warm air that comes off of the mountains, the Rocky Mountains, and it travels this far. We're about 2 hours away from the mountains, so it's quite a way. And what happens is you come out, and although the temperature has been cold, you come out and it feels kind of nice and warm. There's no wind, and you get like a warm feeling. But then of course it maybe lasts a day or maybe 2 days, and then back comes the cold again. So okay, I think that's good enough now. No, it's going to be a bit tight. Oh no. No, that should be okay. I guess I could take this off and try it. Maybe that's what I should do. Where are we? There we go. Oh, my hip. So we undo that. We get a dowel. Put the dowel in there. So that locks up. Face it up, I guess. Yeah, that's going to go in. That's going to go in, that will be good. I'll face it up. That's another thing, see, when you're facing, I can place the tool bit in the area that I figure it needs to be faced, and then I just slide the micrometer along and I wind it that way to give it some clearance, and then I just hold the handle and just turn the micrometer until I make contact. Yeah, I take a 5/1000 cup maybe. Make sure the point of the tap is not anywhere around. That's no good. Just a bit more. I'll do that. Come on, where are you? Okay, just take that out. And just do that. Undo the that. Good enough. So now I can take that out and put it in the chuck and part it off. A nice little chuck. Okay. So, damn, I must learn how to put it in here. I'll put it in here. See, that's running nice and true. So you see, the same thing would happen if you wanted to make a backing plate for a chuck or a face plate or anything. That's running quite true. That would probably be okay. That's pretty good. So, okay. Come on. Yeah. Come on. I guess there you go. Be nice to have a reverse on here. Maybe when I get everything done and ready, I can get that motor down here and maybe just 27 to 1 gear, that would work really nice. There we go. Nice one. Okay, that's that. Take that one off. There's that. Put that in there. Okay. That's good. That. Bring that back. That's good. I'm going to have to run the tap down. Hope it's the right one. See, the trouble is I've got old stuff, and I've got Whitworth, I've got BSF, and I've got American. There we go. Now that's quite a nice fit on there. That's going to work good. So I'll just have to tap it a little bit more. I can do that in a minute once I get it. Okay, I've done that end. Let's just do this end. That'll do. Good enough just to take the burr off. Now, take it out.